Hello and welcome back, guys. I hope you're doing well. We're in a very new place today. We're in my car. I'm at work. Well, technically, I'm leaving work. It is a late night video for you today. My video got messed up today. Unfortunately, I tried uploading it. That wasn't happening. So we're making do. It's a late video, but it's still going up on a Wednesday. And as long as I'm consistent with posting it on the Wednesdays, I'm okay with that. I'm annoyed it's been corrupted because we had such a great conversation. I say we as in me and you, the phone, the camera. But we had a wonderful conversation, even though it was just me talking. But yeah, so let's just talk about what we were talking about last time. I'll try and remember exactly what I said. It's not going to be exact for obvious reasons, but here we go. So hello. Welcome back, guys. Today's topic, I was talking about celebrating the people around you, especially now. It is May, so Mother's Day just passed. So it's talking about, motherly love or familial love and just celebrating the people that are important to you. And thank goodness we have these markers of specific occasions to celebrate, whether it's Mother's Day, Father's Day, a birthday celebration, or a holiday time, Christmas, all that sort of stuff. We have these landmarks throughout the year to be able to do those things. But it's important that when we're doing those celebrating, that we're thinking of the person who we're celebrating, right? So for me, Mother's Day just passed, and I was celebrated in the way that I like to be celebrated. My husband tidied the entire house from top to bottom, as well as he could. I mean, it's not to my standards, like how I clean, but it was lovely. The place was clean. I loved coming home to a nice clean house. He made dinner and all that sort of stuff. So it was very nice. It was very caring. And I appreciated receiving that type of love, right? That type of celebrating. I also got a really nice plant. I showed it to you in the previous video. It was a pretty citronella. It helps to kill mosquitoes and all of that. You can plant it. It doesn't hurt any. It might. I don't know, but it is a nice plant to plant outside. I like getting plants or things that are potted because they live longer than cut flowers that end up, dying. I mean, sure, I can make potpourri and stuff out of them, but I don't always get to do that. So I loved the gifts that I received because it spoke to me in the love language that I enjoy, right? So, I love the idea of celebrating the people around us. I love celebrating my friends when it's their birthdays. I like to give them something, as a token. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to be anything that is like this large, expensive, whatever. It is just thoughtful things that they like, things that will make them happy or smile. Something that may refresh the home, whatever it is, right? Something simple. And I like to also teach that gesture to my kids as well, and to the people around me. So I think that it's important that we talk about that, the importance of celebrating. As the people who raised me, my motherly figures in life, because not everybody has their mothers around, and I know that. But if you do have your mothers, wonderful, celebrate them, because they did a lot for you. And the mother figures in my life was my grandmother, my mother's mom. She was the one that raised me from I was a baby until I was like 10, 11, 12-ish, around that time. And she was very fantastic. I learned so much from her. I learned the importance of being a strong woman. I learned how to be flexible and understanding. I learned wisdom because she's an older woman. She was in her 80s when she was taking care of me, and I learned so much from her, and I still cherish those lessons and I use them today, even with my kids and teaching my kids. Those same things that I remember her saying, I find myself saying them as well. All those phrases that Caribbean parents just say, and I catch myself every once in a while saying some of those similar things, and realizing how much truth there is in them now. But at the time, you're a stubborn kid and you kind of want to do it your way and you think your way is better. But learning that everything in life becomes cyclical, whether it's a good way of it or not, cherishing those lessons that you get and that time that you had with that person just gives you, it just gives you ammunition for life. And so now I'm utilizing those things. So that's my maternal grandmother. And then my paternal grandmother, she was also another woman who raised me in those same similar years, that younger years. My grandparents were around. I loved that my grandmothers were the ones that did, because I learned so much from them. She was a very religious woman. I mean, both my grandmothers were very religious, but my paternal grandmother, she was very religious in the sense of she was married to a reverend. They traveled for teaching the ministry and that sort of thing. So I get my faith from my grandparents, right? Just the way that they go about doing their things and teaching the word and that sort of thing. I find that fascinating to do. I'm not extremely religious in the sense that, like they go to church like every Sunday and sometimes like in the middle of the week, Tuesdays and prior service and all that sort of stuff. I don't do that as much anymore. It was an obligation when I was a child, but I don't do it as much. But do I read my Bible? Do I pray? Yes, I do all those things. These are lessons also that I was taught from them. And I find that it's important to celebrate the lessons that you gained from these people in your lives, especially the women in your lives. No offense to the men, of course, we get lots of lessons. I get lots of lessons from my uncles and my father and that sort of thing. But at this time, we're talking about the importance of the women. And so, learning how to utilize the things that I was taught, I find is very important. And I look back at a lot of these lessons and I find them so fascinating, how much we deter from them when we're young. And as you grow older, you just go, wow, okay, this is actually important. This is actually relevant to things that they've said and things that they've done. And then the next person is my own mother, my actual mom. And even though I started off my younger years with my grandparents and my mother later on, I was still taught so many things from my mother. My ingenuity, the way that I come at life, the strength that comes from just seeing how courageous she was, like moving to another country, setting up a life for her children and giving them everything and all that sort of stuff. Just thinking of all of that sacrifice. And sometimes as parents, there's a lot you got to sacrifice, right? So having these days that you are celebrated and reminded of the good that you do, I think they're very important, So, I don't know. There's nothing else really to say other than enjoy the people in your lives while you have them, especially those motherly figures and fatherly figures that you have, because it is important to listen to the words that they're saying and take them into consideration when, you're living your life. And yes, I know we can say there are people out there and some, parents out there who are not the best when trying to teach these lessons, but take the lessons from them that are also negative and, bring that into your life and saying like, this is also an example of what you don't want, right? You can always learn something. Not everything is going to come as a positive reinforcement, but you can always get a lesson out of something. You don't want to repeat the same things over and over again, especially when you've seen it played out in full from someone else, especially an elder within your family. So remember to take those words, those lessons, learn from them, but also celebrate those people, the good or the bad, and, grow from it, I think. At least that's how I feel. Anyway, this is definitely not as great as the previous video that I was planning to upload, unfortunately, but I think that I was still able to get the lessons across that I needed to get across to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I think that's it for today. I'm sorry for the late upload, and I will try my best for it to be better next time. Okay? Have a good night, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and have a great night. Bye.